Some of you may have heard of the fitness trend barefoot running, where runners leave the sneakers in the closet and hit the trail barefoot. Our next guest is Michael Sandler, and he's not only a barefoot runner, but an inspiration as well. A near-death accident in 2006 shattered his femur, hip, and arm, leaving him worried that he may never even walk again. But now he's not only walking, he's running barefoot. He's also the author of Barefoot Running, How to Run Light and Free by Getting in Touch with the Earth. And he travels the world teaching people how to run without shoes. With him is Dr. Mark Silberman, founder and director of New Jersey Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Thanks to both of you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Michael, first tell us a little bit about your accident and how you got into barefoot running from there.
Well, I never used to go barefoot anywhere. I wouldn't even get out of bed barefoot. It's the guy wearing the hard plastic custom orthotics or insoles and my motion control Nikes. That was just to go across the living room floor. But in 2006, I was training, I was sponsored by Rollerblade to do a world record attempt, 4,000-mile skate across the country, when out on a skating session, a father teaching his baby how to walk stepped out onto a bike path right in front of me.
Oh, gosh.
And yeah, I had a choice in that moment to make of hit the baby or hit the deck, and nobody hits a baby.
No.
So
it's not on purpose.
Exactly. So I threw myself up and backwards to try to stop myself. I'm going through the air going, I wonder if I'll still be able to do my skate. And I landed.
And doctors told you that's it? You would never walk again?
Yeah, they didn't know if I'd be able to keep my leg. And I now have a titanium femur, titanium hip. I've had 10 knee operations. I've got a nice V for victory in it. I have an inch leg length discrepancy and a hole where my ACL used to be.
Wow. And so how did all of this then lead you to the conclusion that shoes are bad?
It was kind of a circuitous path. Once I tried running again and finally got off of crutches, I went from overuse injury to overuse injury and couldn't get anything under control. And I'd been training some elite level athletes who are all running in racing flats, a shoe that's real close to the ground, who are telling me I had to get out of my orthotic, get out of my gel Kyonas at the time, and get flatter and closer to the ground. And then I tripped across barefoot running online, talking about how there's so much less impact out of a shoe than in a shoe. There's up to 3 times less impact, and I'm going, impact? I can't afford any impact. Maybe there's something to this. I mean, nothing else at the time was working. So I said, what have I got to lose? So
there you go. You started it slowly but surely, and here you are now. Dr. Silberman, I want to bring you in for a second, because it's one thing for these runners to say, this is fantastic, it feels great, I'm running correctly. What is the scientific viewpoint here?
I'm in favor of it, that's certain. I see this story all the time. Athletes come into my office with bags and bags of shoes, orthotics. They've been to doctor after doctor, can't run, nothing works. So we went to the literature, and this dates back to over 100 years ago. One of the first articles compared barefoot to shoe population. And what they found, as Michael said, is that when you strike with your heel first, within 50 milliseconds, there's a transient impulse force through your body, 3 times your body weight, that is almost non-existent when you land on your forefoot barefoot. So
let me ask you something. You are a doctor in favor of this. Do most orthopedic surgeons agree with you? What's the
I would say most physicians, physical therapists, podiatrists, orthopedic surgeons do not.
Do not agree with you, okay.
Because they haven't been taught it or they haven't tried it. And when I tell my patients to ditch the shoes, ditch the orthotics, we put them on a videotape and camera and show them the change in their gait from shoe to forefoot. It's instantaneous. They smile.
But let me ask you a couple of things. There are some people that have flat feet. There are some people that have all kinds of problems with their, alignment. And they say, I have to wear these special insoles. They keep my arches up. I have to wear this and that. What would you say to those people?
Well, it's like a crutch. How do you make anybody stronger by staying on the crutch? The body knows how to strengthen itself so if you give it the input it needs to be able to figure that out. So when you're saying, something's out of alignment, well, we need to give the body the sensory feedback to figure that out. The foot is not the weak thing we've been taught it is. It has an arch shape to it. The arch is not weak. If an arch was weak, all the big bridges we have around us would collapse.
Okay.
So you strengthen the feet and go, it's like growing a tree strong from the roots on up.
I get it, but what about our skin? Our skin is certainly weak. I mean, how do you not cut yourself when you're running? I mean, there's glass all over the place, right?
The the skin strengthens up. We've been doing it for a couple million years. What we have, though, is a soft, sensitive foot from being in a shoe. Give it a little time out of the shoe. And I start people, when I coach, 100 yards one day, none the next. 200,
so
none the next.
So do you have calluses like 2 inches thick on the bottom of your feet?
I have a very thick skin on the bottom of my foot, so I can walk over anything.
And the video I saw of you, you are running through snow. You are running on what looks like very, very hot desert sand. Are you just immune to temperature?
You're not immune. You feel it, but it doesn't have the same effect. Hot temperatures, you build into them slowly, you get more circulation to the foot, and actually builds a stronger padding on the bottom of the foot. Wintertime is really fun, because in the wintertime, in footwear, your shoe's doing the job, you take blood flow away from the foot. Out of a shoe, your foot pumps more, or your body pumps more blood flow to the foot.
And you don't wear shoes at all now, right? When you don't have to. Restaurants make you put them on, sometimes airplanes, but other than that, you just don't wear shoes.
Yeah, and I'm polite. In a food establishment, not trying to make people uncomfortable. Other than that, I healed by connecting to the ground, by being able to feel the ground, and so I want to keep that healing going.
Michael, thank you so much for sharing your story. Dr. Mark Silverman, thank you so much for being here as well.
Thank you, Tanya. Run Bear.
I'll try it.